it's the Lawn Gnome and welcome to the newest DCAU update. And I'm really excited because, like last year, I have been putting out a couple of extra episodes because of the fact that there are so many movies in this DC animated library that I still have yet to review from the past. And because of the fact that, like last year, it is the anniversary of another legendary superhero in popular culture, this year Batman, I felt it was important to bring a whole bunch of Batman-related animated films in this library to talk about and review. But this one's going to be interesting because it is the first direct sequel in this current library of films that started in 2007. It is the sequel to Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. And even though this movie more so revolves around Superman, there are many reasons as to why I would consider this more of a Batman movie. So, this movie takes place right after the events of Public Enemies, where Lex Luthor is officially going under impeachment trials as president, and that meteorite that was made of solid kryptonite that was on its way to Earth that has been destroyed, something broke loose and landed in Gotham Harbor. Although this time it is not a thing, it is a person, and it happens to be Superman's cousin, Supergirl. So I was really excited to see this one because of the fact that I am a huge fan of the New Gods story with Apocalypse and New Genesis. These characters are just so interesting to me because they are unlike anything out there in the world of DC Comics. Of course, I was also excited about the fact that we were going to get Tim Daly and Kevin Conroy back to voice Superman and Batman, as well as getting Susan Eisenberg back to voice Wonder Woman, and also some new voices including Summer Glau from Firefly playing Supergirl, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine's Andre Braugher as Darkseid, not to mention Ed Asner returning as Granny Goodness. So happy that they brought Ed Asner back to voice Granny. So why is this movie a Batman movie when it is in fact revolving around Superman meeting his cousin, having his cousin getting taken away by Darkseid and coming to get her back, Superman fighting with Batman and Wonder Woman because he wants to be the Guardian and he wants to show Supergirl what it is to be a hero and they believe that she's not ready? How is this a Batman movie if it really is all around Superman? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because Batman is the highlight of this movie. Kevin Conroy was given a chance to really, even though be the brooding Dark Knight that he had been for so many years, give him a chance to be a little bit more lively, lighthearted, and funny. He has some of the best moments, he has some of the best jokes, and he also has a great moment in this movie where it shows that Darkseid doesn't need to be defeated with brute strength. He also managed to outsmart Darkseid, which is amazing, because we all know that Batman doesn't have any superpowers, and yet Darkseid is one of the most powerful beings in the entire DC universe, and yet with just a little bit of manipulation of the mind, he can bring Darkseid to his knees and work out a negotiation. This movie is definitely a lot of fun to watch. The animation is absolutely amazing. This movie was one of the first where I really paid attention to the animation itself and was just blown away by the fluidity of the action sequences. They were so beautifully choreographed. You could follow them. The bright colors really worked in with the mix, and everything just looked like it worked and fit perfectly. I also really appreciated the animation style because, of course, it was paying tribute to the comic books that were illustrated by the late Michael Turner. He was known for the very skinny yet muscular bodies, the spaghetti flowing hair. It may look a little bit off-color to most, especially when you know what Batman and Superman have looked like in the world of Bruce Timm for so many years, but to actually pay tribute to one of the greatest comic book artists that unfortunately left us far too soon was such an incredible tribute, and I really did appreciate that. If there's one thing that I could say that is not great about this movie, and I really hate to say this, it's Andre Braugher. I really don't like him as Darkseid. I really believe that he is just stale. He doesn't really give Darkseid that much of a threatening feel. I mean, Michael Ironside, who had originally voiced him in the animated series of Superman and Justice League, he was also, you know, a little bit stiff in terms of the dialogue, but there was a lot more personality to Darkseid. In this one, not so much. And also, there is the ending sequence that I'm just not too thrilled with. I mean, we got some amazing story in regards to what happens in Themyscira, what happens on Apocalypse, and we finally think that we're coming to the end of this, and then we get this extremely long battle between Superman, Darkseid, and Supergirl, which, don't get me wrong, it's fun to watch, but by the time you get to that point, you're really like saying, why are we going in this direction? I'm just not appreciating the fact that you just have to stick this battle sequence in when I really thought that the movie was over. But also, even though I do really love Batman in this movie, this also was a great way in the world of comics to relaunch Supergirl, because Supergirl really didn't have much going on in regards to her character in the comic books, especially since the 1980s after she got killed off in the great and most iconic DC story of all time, which is called Crisis on Infinite Earths. But thanks to Jeff Loeb and Michael Turner, we got her back in a big way thanks to the actual graphic novel that this was based on, and look at where Supergirl is today. She has been featured so many times, she's got a show on CW, she's really one of the big names in the DC world now, and especially since she had been away for far so long, it was great to see her back in full force, and this movie really was the pivotal moment that relaunched her outside of the comic books to all of media, and now she's one of the most popular. So I will definitely say that Superman Batman Apocalypse is a fun watch. It's a decent sequel to Public Enemies, so if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. And also there is a DC Showcase short, which is something that we will be discussing a little bit throughout the year, because a lot of the movies that I'm reviewing have these things. They were these little 5-minute animated shorts that were created specifically for these direct-to-DVD releases, and it was basically showcasing one hero that you haven't really seen much in the world of animation, or pretty much having its own headlining story in general, and this one is Green Arrow. It is a lot of fun. You get Green Arrow, you get Merlin, you get Black Canary. It's definitely a fun ride. It is definitely one of the better showcase shorts. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Superman Batman Apocalypse. And I will see you in the next DCAU update. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.